Hello everybody, welcome back to another build showcase and guide for Mistfall Hunter. Today we're gonna be looking into Withered Knight but with the tank variant. We're gonna be going through the skills, talents, affixes, and also some gameplay that we have for you today. Starting off with the pole iron shield, which will be our main weapon, we have the breaker shield bash. It has offensive and defensive capabilities. It has a block property while casting, and it applies wither right away to the enemies. Next is the bulwark. This wall, nothing comes in and nothing comes out of it. So this can be used as a wall to just block any doors, any spaces, and just provide your teammates some time to retreat and reset. And our main skill for today is Intervene, the one skill that will make your teammates love you. This one will have you dash forward towards a teammate and it will give them a shield to all allies within range. For the Great Sword, we only have one skill. You can pick whatever you feel comfortable with. I have the Thorn Guide as well. It's just fun pulling up people, I swear. For the talents, today we're going with the specialization for the pole arm and shield. What this does is that it allows us to have 3 skills on our shield, but only 1 skill for the Great Sword. I think it's a better trade, but you could also go with Endless Flow to reduce the cooldown speed of your skills. Next, we have the pole arm and shield core archetype. With Rising Morale, what this does is that it will grant you a level 1 charge of your shield whenever you cast a skill. You can see that when you block, if you'll need to charge to do a dash, and it has up to 3 levels. So after using a skill, for example, I use Breaker Shield Bash and then I move forward to the blocking, I will have a level 1 charge. That's up, and the reason why I went forward with Momentum Shift is it allows me to dodge while blocking, gives me more mobility, and whenever I dodge, I will also be getting a charge level. Next, and finally, for this tree is the Shield Wall Slam. When I dodge forward, I will have super armor and custom damage, and I can also execute enemies that are affected by Wither. I know that the recommended build, whenever you check a combat bag, goes to the right side with counter impact and brute force, but honestly I just prefer this side. I think it's a bit more versatile and gives you more mobility. Next, we have the defensive chief. Whenever we're using our wall, our sacred bulwark, you can move and look around a little bit. And our last tree will be for intervene, and this is the reason why your teammates will love you. Not only you will be placing shields, the radius will be increased, they will also get movement speed, and if you target a down ally, then they will get a shield and they will start reviving automatically, as you can see on the screen now. Going with the affixes, you definitely want your bulwark. You want the energy rate to be reduced, and you also want more negation when blocking. You surely will want vitality. You need more energy to keep on blocking and dodging at the same time, so elusive as well might be a good skill. And for damage, then definitely burst. Execution damage will go up considerably, and depending on if you trust your teammates a lot, or and you know that they do good damage, then maybe you could exchange burst and focus more on brotherhood, as it will be increases the defense of all of the allies on the lobby, or yeah, on your lobby, on your team. That's a spirit shield. If you want to go full defensive, whenever you apply the shield to you or your teammates, then the strength is actually increased, and it can also increase the magic resistance after a certain level. These will be the main skills. You can play around, mix and match a little bit with these ones, and use whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, so these are just the ones that I use for my own whenever I'm playing by myself, or maybe with my teammates, depending if I know them. But honestly, you definitely want to have Vitality and also Bulwark. These 2 skills will be your lifesavers. Going into the range here, into the training grounds, you'll see really quick how this build will work, and then you will be seeing some gameplay. So first, as we mentioned, if you're blocking, you will need to charge in order to do a push with your shield. But if you use a skill, you will go straight into level 1. Now, if we block and dodge, then you will get a charge level. And if we block and dodge forward, we will get hyper armor, and also we will be attacking the enemies. So many of the things that you could do is just placing a wall in the meantime to get your teammates to reposition, or maybe just attack if you have range. If you have range teammates, just note that whenever you use a shield, if they try to attack through the shield, it will not pass by. It will be hitting the shield. No damage will be received by the shield, but it will not hit the enemies. So they will have to look for an angle where they don't hit the shields, or just jump and do the casting. Once after your shield is about to end, you can press the button again just to throw it away, and boom, you will have a level 1 charging your shield. But you can also, after using your bulwark, you can just go ahead and hit with the breaker and immediately just execute them and follow up. Then follow up with your R1s. If you see a teammate that is in trouble and you need to get close to them, or if you see that they got down, all you need to do is just to use Interbeam. They will get increased movement speed and also a shield that will help them survive. That's pretty much all about the build. If you like the tips and this build, make sure to like and subscribe. If you see any variations that you would like, or you have any other things that you actually prefer using on this build as a tank, then just leave it in the comments and we can further discuss. With all that being said, see you in the next one. Bye bye. On this clip you can see that me and my teammate are stuck with 2 lizardmen. And at this point I decided to use my circuit bulwark, and the reason for that is simple. I can just let my teammate, who is summoning the storms and the rock blast, to do his damage, while I just avoid them from pushing into us furthermore. When playing PvE, you have to try to get the aggro if possible. I know this is not mercenary, so you don't really have a skill to pull all of the aggro onto you. But whenever you have it, you just gotta make sure that you isolate the enemies and place your wall, while your teammates take care of doing all the damage. You can see here that the boss cannot really go through that wall, and we just start hitting it over and over again. This was a really quick fight. My teammates actually had really good damage, and all I need to do was just to get the enemies away from them. At one point during this fight, one of my teammates actually died. None of us even realized it because he gave up instantly to turn into a ghost, and he could reset. But in this case, it was not really necessary. I could have used Intervene just to resurrect him while we kept doing damage and keep the boss away from hitting him while he's resurrecting by using my sacred bulwark. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that on time. He just went ahead and resurrected right away. You can see his ghost coming back in. That's the only reason why I didn't manage to use it. But something that you could do and that you should be doing is that if your teammates have the aggro, if you want to avoid them from falling, then probably you want to use Intervene so you can give them a shield and also close up distance between you and the enemies. This was the first PvP encounter of the match. They had the high ground, but one of them actually dropped down and got isolated there in the corner. We tried to go ahead and push for him, but we knew the other two were from behind, so I tried to close his door here. Unfortunately, one of my teammates went ahead and got along with him, but he managed to get away later. So at this point, what we try to do is just to put on some pressure. We try to actually regroup as we got away from each other just like they did. And in this case, since you're playing as a Withered Knight, you are good at closing up distances and you also have a shield, so you probably want to focus on the ranged characters. That seer was up there and I didn't really want to leave my teammates alone, which is why I decided to stay here and try to help them with my shields, interbeing also the Volquar, and by grabbing this other Withered Knight into a corner and start poking him to almost dead. His seer teammate actually realized that and he saved him at the very last second. The second encounter of the match, there were actually two teams fighting each other. We managed to grab this mercenary here. My teammate was sniping with the rock blast, but he managed to get away. And at that point, I knew I had to regroup. These are my teammates, I don't want to leave them alone. So I went back and helped them with the sorcerer. The sorcerers probably are going to be your priority as well as black arrows. Since you have your shield, you can block their range attacks. And with the dodge and the extra charge, closing up distance versus 10 is way easier than it will be maybe in a different class. Here we managed to take care of that sorcerer pretty quickly. We don't stop putting pressure into him. And as soon as he's dead, his other teammate comes here and tries to save him. But he actually messed up and got into a 1v3. And the game actually bugged, so you can see that he was actually flying on top of my shield. Since we're safe, I went ahead and execute the sorcerer, that way I can get some health back. And right after we do so and looting, we go back to the rest of the teams that were fighting. We managed to grab this mercenary, there were two from different teams. We managed to get this mercenary here all along between the two of us and finishing really quickly so we can keep on moving. That's gonna be the end of the video for today. If you really like this, make sure to like and subscribe again and comment as well, that would be really helpful. I hope you have a good one and see you on the next one. Bye bye.